Marcus Chun had been invisible for 12 years, not literally. Though the advanced alien civilizations aboard the Galactic Coalition's flagship Harmony treated him as if he were. To the towering Zephyrians with their crystalline exoskeletons, the ethereal Voidlings who communicate through telepathic harmonics, and the militaristic Corvan Empire representatives, Marcus was just another human. A maintenance worker. A grease monkey who fixed their ships and kept their engines running. They spoke over him in 17 different languages, discussing battle strategies, territorial disputes, and technological advances as if he weren't there, welding plasma conduits 3 feet away. After all, what could a primitive human possibly understand about their sophisticated conflicts? Marcus understood everything. He had always been good with languages. A gift that had gotten him off Earth and into the Coalition service program. But more than that, he had developed something the galaxy's most advanced species lacked. The ability to see patterns where others saw chaos. For 12 years he had listened. He had watched. He had learned. And now, as he worked beneath the quantum drive matrix of the Harmony, he finally understood what was coming. The Corvan Empire wasn't planning to negotiate at tomorrow's peace summit. They were planning to annihilate every other species in the galaxy using a weapon they called the Entropy Cascade, a device that could unravel the molecular bonds of entire star systems. Marcus had overheard the final transmission 3 hours ago, spoken in the clicking dialect of Corvan, military code that they assumed no human could decipher. The weapon was already in position, hidden within the Coalition's own defense grid. One signal from the summit, and every non-Corvan world would simply stop existing. His hands trembled as he continued welding, the plasma torch casting dancing shadows on the bulkhead. 12 years of being invisible, and now he held the fate of trillions in his calloused, oil-stained fingers. Marcus could report what he had learned, but who would believe him? A human mechanic claiming to understand Corvan military strategy? They would laugh him out of the command center if they even let him through the door. But Marcus Chun hadn't survived 12 years in deep space by giving up when things looked impossible. He began to work faster, his welder singing against the metal. If the galaxy wouldn't listen to him, then he would have to show them. The Harmony was the most advanced ship in the Coalition fleet, a technological marvel that combined the best innovations from 47 different species. Marcus had maintained every system, upgraded every component, and in doing so, he had learned something that even the ship's designers didn't know. The quantum drive matrix wasn't just a propulsion system. With the right modifications, it could become something else entirely. Working through the night, Marcus rerouted power conduits, realigned quantum resonators, and carefully modified the ship's sensor array. To anyone watching, it would look like routine maintenance. He had become an expert at hiding his work in plain sight. By dawn, he had turned the Harmony into the galaxy's first quantum communication amplifier. The Peace Summit began at 0800 hours. Representatives from every major species gathered in the Grand Conference Hall, their translators humming with diplomatic pleasantries. Marcus watched from the maintenance shaft above, his heart pounding as he waited for the moment he knew was coming. At 0847 hours, the Corvan delegation leader made a subtle gesture to his aide. Marcus activated his modifications. Suddenly, every communication device on the ship and on every ship within 50 light years crackled to life. But instead of the usual static, they heard something impossible. The actual thoughts and intentions of every being in the room, translated into a universal language that transcended species barriers. The Corvan plans flooded the communication network. Not just their words, but their genuine intentions, broadcast directly from their minds to every consciousness capable of receiving it. The entropy cascade, the hidden weapons, the coordinates of the device, everything. Chaos erupted in the conference hall. The Zephyrians' crystalline bodies blazed with fury as they realized how they had been deceived. The Voidlings' telepathic screams of betrayal echoed through subspace. Even the normally peaceful Centauran delegation was reaching for weapons they didn't carry. But Marcus wasn't finished. As security forces moved to arrest the Corvin delegation, he activated the second phase of his plan, the quantum drive matrix. Pulsed with energy, creating a localized space-time distortion that made the harmony effectively untouchable. Then, using the ship's enhanced communication array, he broadcast the coordinates of every entropy cascade device to every coalition fleet in the galaxy. Within hours, the weapons were neutralized. The Corvin Empire's century-long plan to dominate the galaxy had been undone by a human mechanic they had never bothered to notice. As the crisis ended and the dust settled, Marcus found himself standing before the Coalition Council, the most powerful beings in known space. For the first time in 12 years, they were looking directly at him. "How?" asked the Voidling Supreme Commander, her ethereal voice carrying undertones of genuine curiosity. Marcus smiled, his grease-stained coveralls looking absurdly out of place in the marble and crystal chamber. "You spent so much time looking down on humans that you forgot our greatest strength, which is," prompted the Zephyrian Chancellor, his crystalline features flickering with interest. "We notice things," Marcus said simply. "We watch, we listen, we learn. And when everyone else is looking at the stars, we're the ones who make sure the engines keep running." The council was silent for a long moment. Then, something unprecedented happened. They offered Marcus Chun a seat among them. He politely declined. After all, someone had to keep the ships running. But from that day forward, no one in the galaxy would ever again make the mistake of not noticing the humans who worked in the shadows, keeping civilization itself operational. Marcus returned to his workshop, picked up his welder, and went back to work. Invisible once again, but now that invisibility was a choice. And in the depths of space, that made all the difference.